Amazing AP Research students. This quick video is going to show you how to create tables in your document and then how to format them. Okay, so if you haven't seen me do this when we were in class a few weeks ago, to insert a table inside your paper, you just go to Insert, like this, Table, and then select however many cells that you want. Right, so depending on how many variables you have, as such, across the top would be your variable names, or down the side, depending on how you set up your table, and then you would put your data in the middle. Just keep in mind that when you do this, you're going to want to format it correctly. So whenever I do titles up top here, I change the formatting to center. Okay, so it's on center align. And then I usually bold the title. So this way, when I type in variable over here, should still be on center, and percent. I don't know, I'm just making things up, but you can see how it works across the top. Variable names can be bolded as well. You can do that as well. Bold. Okay, here you're going to want your data center aligned. So just highlight and make sure that when you go to type in, it's centered, just like that. Okay, so that's how you make a table inside Google Docs. Fairly easy. You can actually adjust these things. So you can slide this over, like if you have more typing. You can adjust the sizes of this as well. Okay, just so you know. All right, to format the borders, to put it in more of an APA style heading, I'm sorry, format, so that it looks a little bit better, you can't do that inside Google Docs. It doesn't have the functionality for that. So I'm going to show you how to do that in regular Word. So if you don't have access to regular Word at home, you won't be able to do this. If that's the case, you're just going to make your table inside the Google document as is. Okay, but we can make this look a little bit more professional, which I always prefer to do. So I actually copy and pasted out, this is Julia's table, just to show you what's what. So this would be a correlation table, and we want to fix this up. All right, keep in mind that all of your tables will need to have a title. So depending on the number, table 1, then you will put the title here. Okay, title your table something appropriate. And then at the end of the title, you always include the number in your sample. So I'm just going to make some stuff up. And keep in mind, like I showed you, statistics, always italicized like that. That should be capitalized. And I usually bold these to make it stand out. Okay? So you'll notice another thing too, underneath, we have a little key that shows us what the significance values for the probability values are, right? So here, I just like to make this a little bit smaller on the font. It doesn't need to be the same size, so we'll shrink that down a little bit. Okay, and that tells us, you know, what those significance values mean. And then you should have spaces in between these so that it is not right on top of each other. Should look like that. Okay, we don't actually need a tab here. I'm not sure why it's doing that. So that would have to be fixed. And welcome to the time-consuming process of, I'm just going to get rid of that. Hang on. So I'll put in a star. Equals. Welcome to formatting issues. I do not stop automatically creating bulleted lists. Okay, so equals to P is less than 0.05. Okay, and then just remember that this is italicized. That looks much better, just like that. All right, so inside the table, If you need to conserve space, it doesn't really matter for you. You don't have a page count. I typically make most of my tables on a 10 font so that it's not taking up too much space on the page, and it can make it a little bit more readable. So here we can see you've got your variable title over here, and it's sort of long, so we can change this out. It will move over some of the boxes and make them a little bit more uniform. All right, and we can spread those out so that it looks a little bit better and that they're mostly the same size. Okay, so you can move these over until you get that correct width, and it will certainly look better. Okay, so here, all of this, change to centered. Same thing here, just like I showed you in the Google Doc. I would put an additional space here so it's not too crowded, like that. And I would bold the tops, just like that, as well as the variables along the side. Okay, so if you note, these are numbered here, so that all we have to do is have the number across the top, and people know that this is age, right? So this line on a correlation table here means that we don't care about it. We know the relationship is going to be 100%. Okay, so we put a line in for that. You don't need to have the other numbers in here because they're already listed here. There's no need to do them twice. And then I would also suggest spacing these out a bit so that they're centered. It just looks better. Okay, and it makes the table much easier to read and much more consistent. Okay. We pop down. Doing stuff like this, the formatting, kind of nice to listen to music if you can. And already we're looking better. Okay, and the good part here is that, you know, out to the hundredths column, and then you can see the significance value for this particular negative correlation between gender and age was less than 0.01. Okay, so what we want to do about the borders is highlight the whole table like this, and here's your border column. Okay, so this equals the boredom, the borders. Okay, so the first thing we do is we go to no border, just like that. Okay, and it takes out all of the cells. And then what we want to do in an APA formatted table, we put in a top border, a bottom border. Everything else stays blank except for this one on the bottom. We can just click that bottom border right there. And that is a formatted table. It looks better. It looks a whole lot cleaner as well. Okay, so I hope that's helpful to you. If you have any questions about your tables, you're welcome to email me at any time. All right, have a great day.